Today on Lunch with Kayla, we have another email from someone regarding the question of the day. So this one writes, Dear Kayla, how do you keep an individual on task when they don't follow rules and regulations? Well, I emailed them back and I said, okay, because it's different strokes for different folks, as I try to say all the time. I asked her, is it adult or is it a child? And if it's business or personal, because even though we're in a blended type of environment right now, there's still that division between how you deal with people you work with and how you deal with people you live with or that are friends and family. The person wrote back, she said, all of the above. I was like, is it an adult? Is it a child? Is it personal? Is it business? She was like, all of the above. So that's a tall order. So I'm going to tell you what worked for me because I've had it in every area. I think everyone who manages, at some point, you're going to get people around you that are going to sharpen you. And when I say sharpen you, those are the ones that are not going to want to do what you need them to do. And you have to figure out a way to make to to build that team and to make them part of that team. Now, let's talk about the easy one. The easier one is business. In business, as a business owner, Michaela, New York, as a business owner, you tend to get people that, don't kind of want to comply. They're like, I'm a lone wolf. I do what I want and all this other stuff. Those are usually the ones that drag down the team. And they think that they know what they're doing and they really don't know what they're doing. And it kind of causes a little bit of friction, especially with the leadership. Now, the way you handle those people are you give them, if you're the leader, you give them the task that you know that they want to do. You don't, okay, and this is what I do. I'm not saying that this is the end all be all of how to do it. I'm just telling you this is what worked for me. Because within my 20 plus years career in administration, I've had to manage people a long time. Even before I got into administration, I used to work at Western Beef in Flushing, and I used to work at Roy Rogers. Remember Roy Rogers? I used to work at Roy Rogers in Flushing. Somehow I always ended up being like the team lead, probably because I'm bossy, but whatever. So I was always telling people what to do and how to get everything moving and everybody working together. So, and every so often I would find people who didn't want, they're like, who are you? Why do I got to work with you? And I didn't have any authority back then. But now it's still not, no matter what your title is, your authority is only contingent on the part where people comply to your authority. So you could think you have all the authority in the world, but if the person's looking at you like you ain't no better than me, so I don't know why I gotta listen to you, you have to find a way to work with that person. You have to find a way to work around it so your project doesn't fail and your team does not fail, especially when they're part of your team, so your team has to win. This is both personal, and this can be for both personal and business for adults. So, because adults are different than children. So for an adult in the business, and if you're the lead, find a way to give them what you know they'll flourish in and that they want to do. Even if it's the smallest thing, just give that to them. Don't try to give them stuff that you know that they don't like to do because you're going to get pushback. And then when you get pushback, don't be surprised that you get pushback because you gave him or her something that you know that they don't want to do, that you know that they're going to be like, oh, why I got to do this. So what I found to do was on my teams, I always give people their niche. whatever their niche is, or niche, I don't know how you say it, whatever that is, that's what I put you in. So that's how I work with them. So it's like I try to, and you're still going to have people who don't want to do anything. Those people, you kind of just have to work around them with business, because at the end of the day, you as the head, or you as the EA, like I say all the time, my EAs, everything is your fault and everything is your responsibility when it comes to your principal. They're not going to want to hear so and so didn't want to do the job, or they don't care. In leadership, they don't care. You take responsibility for the team, you work with the team accordingly. Now, like I said, you just work around them. You work around them. It sucks, and you might have to work twice as hard if you can't like get rid of them, or you can't ship them to a different team. You're going to have to work around them. You pretty much, period. That's it. Now, for your personal life, for an adult, for your personal, let's say it's your spouse, say it's your whoever you, I'm pretty much set with spouse. Say it's your spouse, whether it be a female or male. If they don't want to cooperate with you and you're trying to get something done, and it depends on one or two things, especially with the spouse, because in business, it's everybody. So if you don't do well, everything's going to fall. The project or whatever you have to get accomplished is going to go to crap. So you got to make sure and do what you're supposed to do to make sure that doesn't happen as the lead. Now, for me, I believe in a marriage or in a relationship, it's an equal thing. It's an equal share, an equal partnership. It's not you're above me